ancient plant carvings.
We might revisit that on another video at some point.
Right.
We'll get together.
And ormus, which is there's a little ormus here, which is it's a mystery. You know,
It is
ormus
a mystery.
ormus means I think Wilhelm Reich came up with the word. Ormus means orbitally rearranged monatomic elements. You know.
I think it's beyond the scope of what we understand with our limited
It's beyond our scope, yeah. But what I've thought about it is that when you have crystal lattices in crystal, and you have the structures that make lattices of crystal, and you have the structures that make lattices of water, so micro-clustered water that everybody's talking about, and clustered crystal, they have the same hexagonal shape. Yet one is a completely, we call it open equilibrium system. You know, water can absorb and take things to entropy. Whereas crystal is a closed or fixed equilibrium system, and they're like represent opposite ends of the spectrum. Yet whatever it is that causes their lattices to bind and form those crystalline structures, like when water freezes, right? It gets those crystalline structures. Whatever that is, what is that governing? What is that guiding element underneath? You know, it's in the ether somehow. You know, it's energetic. That's ormus, I guess, right?
Now, what do you think would happen if someone took an enema with that?
Good.
That would be real interesting. Have you done that?
I might have, yeah. I believe I have.
I had to throw that in there. I couldn't help it.
Every spring you want to do a few enemas and a green juice fast and some of this, or you know, some spirit potion and some of my sea clear and that kind of thing in the spring. You know, do your fast cleanse, and that's when you want to do a couple of enemas.
Oh, we'll be doing that starting Monday in this household.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why. I mean, here one product we've been now talking about for a long time, right? That's what happens. But this is probably my favorite. Going back to your question.
That is pretty amazing. But the rest of the treasure pack.
Yeah, everything. Morning Jing.
Super Morning Jing. Does it have the Morning Jing or the regular Morning Jing?
Yeah.
What's the difference between those two?
Regular Morning Jing has powders, like soluble powders of black bean, black rice, black sesame, hosho wu, bee pollen, maca, and a little bit of palm sugar. And so this is a kidney rejuvenation product. It's mainly black stuff. The Chinese believe things that have a black pigment, they used to think that the stuff that had black pigment would go to the kidneys because they saw like black bean. They said, that kind of looks like a kidney. And then the kidneys are down there where it's dark, in the body, way down in the recesses of the body, down here at the solar plexus. Thought, well, it's dark down there, so maybe black stuff will go there. And they were right. They found, modern research has shown that anything that's black in food generally is so because it has a lot of zinc and molybdenum and other very important minerals and antioxidants that make it black. And zinc is very important in all the reproductive fluids. And the kidneys govern the body's essences of the reproductive forces. You know.
Get a love on those kidneys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And, the genome wants us to be reproductive organisms. It wants us to take care of those reproductive essences and pay attention to them. And not to abuse them, of course. If we abuse them, diseases and things are there to show us not to abuse those. But, SDIs and that kind of thing. But on the other hand, if we neglect those reproductive forces, then what we call chi stagnation can show up. So it's polyps and cysts around the ovaries and the fallopian tubes.
That was a great talk that you had on that too, that I had listened to.
So not to neglect those forces, Men don't want to release so much semen, but engage in the act to just retain the semen. Women want to have orgasms. It should. It's good for the system. Give it a little yoga workout down there. A little run around the block,
A little run around the block. Let's all go work out. Do it for the team.
So Morning Jing really goes down there and supports the kidneys and those forces. People who want to increase their fertility or just want to stay youthful. The thing is this: if you fortify the body's reproductive forces and pay attention to them, and you cultivate them rightly, the body stays youthful because all the hormones are happy and in balance. If your reproductive hormones are happy and in balance, your body stays youthful, even in and through menopause and andropause.
Now, a question: the difference between the Morning Jing and the Super Morning Jing. The Super Morning Jing has maca. Is that right?
No. The difference with Super Morning Jing is we add reishi and shilajit and chlorella and moringa.
Okay, and so maca is in both
Yes.
formulas? Okay, because I've only taken the super morning Jing. I haven't had the regular morning Jing. And I have to say, maca, just for a little side note, if this helps anybody, maca tends to upset my stomach a lot. I've never been able to really take it, and I feel nauseous and in pain for several hours after taking it. I have no problem with it at all when it's mixed with the super morning Jing. And I believe you said that is toasted though, right?
We put our maca through a process which is referred to as gelatinizing. It's kind of a cryptic industry term for, I think it's just a light roasting of it. Because see, the Incan people never ate the maca raw. What they would do is they would dig a pit and put rocks in there and build a fire in there and get the rocks really hot, and then they would throw the maca roots on the rocks and maybe bury it for a little while, and then it's a morning Jing burp. We had our morning Jing.
We had some morning Jing there. What all did we have? We had all coconut water, almond milk, morning Jing.
Yeah.
Did you put anything else?
I put 3 mortals in there, and 3 jewels.
We had the 3 jewels too.
And Hoshowu, yeah.
Loving the kidneys.
But yeah, the maca, the Incans never ate the maca raw. The maca is a tuber which can have some aflatoxins in it because the little side shoot roots can have aflatoxins. So I believe that's why the Incans would roast it to break down this and you get rid of the aflatoxins, so that then you eat it no problem. Plus starches. You see, starches are really not very digestible in their raw state. A starch molecule looks like a little corn kernel. And when you could say, use an analogy as a little corn kernel. When you're trying to eat a hard corn kernel, you're like, I got it right. But then what we do, you put the corn in a pot and get the heat going, and suddenly you watch, and so suddenly it goes pop like that. That's kind of what you do to starches when you cook it a little bit. When you bake it a little bit or you roast it a little bit, it kind of what they call gelatinizing process. It causes it to pop open like that, and then it's digestible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because I have never, I've always heard of the benefits of maca.
Yeah.
And I've tried to take it in various forms, and it always upsets my stomach. I've tried several raw maca products, and it doesn't.
Right. They have gelatinized maca on their market. You can find it.
You can. Okay.
Yeah, it's usually a little more of a copper gold color than in the raw. It's kind of a pale, almost white.
That's what I've had.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of sources of raw. I've never had it outside of the way.
Some people seem to do fine with the raw maca, so I don't want to say, it's definitely must do that way. It's up to an individual, but I mean, the ancient peoples did things for a reason. They came to do that, and we need to respect that. If they toasted their chia seeds, then let's look at why they did that, right? If they toasted their maca, let's respect that and look at it.
Okay, so what else is in the treasure pack? We've covered the 3 mortals, the morning Jing.
Yeah, a sea clear.
Oh, the sea clear! I'm getting that soon. I can't wait. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
It's a raw product. It took me 3 years to get it right. I was really concerned about radiation exposure and poisoning, and I knew this was going to become a problem. At the time, America was bombing Iraq with the nuclear weapons, and I was thinking about them, the people there, the soldiers there, and then it just dawned on me that radiation exposure is going to become more and more of an issue as goes on. Who knows what power plant's going to blow up next? Yeah, we had Fukushima happen recently, which is not over with. I mean, that's not over with. That stuff's still leaking out of there. There's some reports that another reactor may blow, and so this is an issue. And so when the Russians when the Chernobyl power plant meltdown happened in 1985 in Russia, a team of Russian doctors was given a task of getting rid of the radiation poisoning or reducing the extent of the radiation poisoning in 1.5 million people that were there in the Chernobyl area. And so they looked at some Japanese research after Hiroshima that showed that if you take miso and seaweed, the people who were at Hiroshima and who lived in Hiroshima and Nagasaki who ate a lot of seaweed and miso didn't seem to get as bad radiation poisoning. So there's something either prevented it or chelated it out. And so then they looked at this research, and then they figured out a way of fermenting seaweed, a particular seaweed called Rehmannia japonica. It was the stuff the Japanese had used. So they fermented this, and they gave it to these people, and the research shows that they successfully removed the dangerous levels of radiation within about 6 months with these people.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I know, it is major.
Okay, I have some friends that have been exposed to radiation. Please listen to that.
Yeah. And so,
Listen to that.
yeah, so what I did was I got the Rehmannia japonica kelp, I fermented it. I worked for a couple of years to figure out how to ferment it right, and then just one day I realized, well, just they were eating miso and kelp, so let's put it together. So we put the miso and the fermented kelp together, along with turmeric and raw apple cider vinegar. And
I didn't realize I had turmeric in it too.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
wow,
turmeric's
that's
really,
medicinal.
Yes.
Wow.
Really, yeah.
Okay.
And it makes a great condiment. What you do is you get your raw crackers, right? That you're making with your dehydrator here, and you take a little bit of a sea clear and some red onions, just bits on there.
Ooh, that sounds
maybe
good.
with some avocado.
Yeah. Everything is better with avocado.
Everything is better. That's one of the reasons I live in Los Angeles. I have an avocado tree out my backyard. And I just
Can we get people just to ship them in whenever you move here?
Maybe we can do that. I'll have to, yeah.
Ship it in.
Yeah. But yeah, that's in there, and it's inexpensive product too. It's only, we sold it for like $17 for a 13-ounce jar of it, and we could be selling this for like $30 or something.
Wow.
It's very medicinal. But we said no, let's just put it out there. So we just want it out there, and so we make it really, really, really affordable price, and so then the last product in there is our spirit potion, our whole herb formula.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love spirit potion.
So then you get to play with the whole herbs. You get to be your own alchemist, and you get to watch them cook and feel them and touch them and smell them and be part of their intelligence, and then communicate with them, and then listen to their wisdom, listen to them talking to you, which is very important. Let the herbs talk to you. Learn how to. One of our great lessons is when we learn how to listen instead of talking to the plants and things. We learn how to listen to them.
And listen to what they have to say.
And that's part of this heart chakra consciousness that we're entering into, is like learn to listen to plants. If maybe on another video we can talk about listening and how does we learn to listen.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, we will. Yes, we will. But yeah, the spirit potion is good because I've used that many times. I've had several events, and that is the tea that I make for the event. And
we do too, always. That's what we serve.
As I did that on your recommendation, I said, what do I need to use? And you told me spirit potion, and so that's what I have used. It's good. It's really good. Yeah. I think I probably drank more than my share, but
and we're working on figuring out how to ferment the tea for spirit potion.
Yes.
And it just amplifies the spirit product.
I will be making that.
Crazy, man. It's just like,
very
wow.
soon.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. So that was the treasure pack.
That's the treasure pack. That's it.
Yeah.
That's our top 4, our fab 4, and I'm so proud of that. All my life I was an artist and creative person, and then once I met Ron Teagarden, my teacher, and got into this, I realized, my God, this is the true art. Our art is all good, but this is the healing art. Wow, you put the two together, you get really nice. You can be creative and you can be helping people at the same time.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
So I applied all of my artistic background to the creation of these products, and feel really proud of it.
That happens, doesn't it? I've had people ask me recently, well, are you doing your artwork anymore? I'm like, well, I've just kind of thrown all my creativity at this point into like the food preparation and things like that, and trying to, I don't know, it's just taken a shift, and I don't feel like it's gone. I just feel like it's moving in just another bigger direction.
Yeah.
Than it had before.
And Rhonda does her laughter yoga, which is you got to come be part of the laughter yoga.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, that was great. Did we cover everything we need for this video?
I think so.
I think Rehmannia just needs to stay. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Check out Rehmannia.
Shamanshack.info.
Shamanshack.info. I'll put a link, as always.